Hi guys. Um, it's early morning in my hometown. I just want to talk about the new Apple release, iPod Touch 6th generation, and I just want to talk about it because I think I want to get it. I have right now. I'm using iPhone 5s. I'm shooting this with an iPhone 5s, and I just want to tell you why I think that the Ipod Touch 6, it will be a hell of a purchase, a good purchase to me. There's two main reasons at the most top, which is one, 128 gigabyte storage. And right now I'm using 64 gigabyte storage on an iPhone 5s, and I want the 128 gigabyte storage. Now, some people might say, okay, why don't you just get an iPhone 6 and I've or iPhone 6s and get the 128 gigabyte storage. Now, the reason I don't choose those phones because one, they are expensive for 128 gigabyte storage, and the iPod Touch 6 have that capacity, but at a much lower price. So I think why not? It's a great purchase. So if you it will satisfy my needs, and space is everything. If you're a photographer like me, if you're into video making like me, and you want storage space, and if you're a fan of movies or games and you want storage space, more storage space on your device, so 128 gigabyte would be fantastic. So that's why I'm seriously thinking of getting the iPod Touch 6. Now, the top reason that I want to get it because of the camera phone they have. I love taking pictures with my phone and videos with my phone, as you can tell. But the reason I want it because they upgraded the camera, the iPod Touch camera to 8 megapixels. And I know some people say, oh, 8 megapixel, blah, 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 is bad. Some other cameras is better. Some cameras have 21 megapixel and stuff. No, Apple has always been the top in terms of uh, phone cameras, even though it has a lower megapixels. But somehow other the programming or the system, I don't know how they do it, but it's always sharper than other phones, regardless of the megapixel counts. So there is a sort of system that they have created to make the 8 megapixels count. So it's in the programming, and Apple is the winner. If you go and browse online about iPhone cameras, even though it's just 8 megapixels, it's still amazing. Now, and then even then, iPhone 6 and iPhone 6 are still using 8 megapixels. So iPhone 6 and iPhone 6 Plus, I'm sorry, is still using 8 megapixels. So having an iPod Touch, you get the storage of an iPhone 6, 6 Plus, and also the same camera as iPhone 6 and 6 Plus and 5S. So the camera capability plus the storage space of the iPod Touch 6 really is attractive because of the lower price. Well, another factor, of course, and some people don't agree with me on this, but I love the normal iPhone 5s size, and the iPod Touch 6 will maintain the four. There's this dimension that the old dimension, not the 6. It will not be the same size as 6 or 6 Plus. It's much smaller. It's gonna follow the size of 5 and 5s size. So I love that size. I love that size. I love this size because I don't have to worry about uh, putting it. I can put it in my pocket. I can put it in my. And I was reading the review on the iPod Touch 6. It's much slimmer because it doesn't have the complicated thing. It has a steel bag, aluminum. I don't know what kind of but metal bag. So it's more sturdy. It's small. You can put it in your pocket or whenever you walk around. It's what I want. I love the size. I love the small size, and And you might not agree. A lot of people don't agree with me, but so far I found even using the 5S, just I'm a lazy user. Just to put my thumb to go and choose the top app is not easy for me. And I wonder people who get 6 plus, or how they're gonna, how if they're fine with getting the top app. No, I know they have a system where you can lower the somehow the screen so that they can reach the top app. So why do we need that? I don't know. And then there's also a reason that if you get a smaller screen, and the processor can process the system better, so they tested the new chip. Okay, and that's another news. The iPod Touch 6 is getting the E8 chips, which is the latest chips. That's even the iPhone 5s doesn't have it. So the iPhone 6, iPhone 6 Plus have the E8. So the iPod Touch will have the same E8, only less powered. I think they adjusted it. But when they tested the machine playing games, it is much faster on the iPod Touch. Now the reason they say is because of the screen. The screen size is the less thing that the E8 has to process. So that's a new dimension that a lot of people never think about. The less space, the smaller the screen, the less power it will use, the less processing that will use. So it will have much more faster games, faster processing. Even though so it will last. The iPod Touch will last, and yeah, I touched on the A8, yeah, and then so it's a good purchase if you look at it in terms of storage space, camera, and the size and the pricing. Of course, the pricing is going to be cheaper and all around, and I find it so cool. Some people say, okay, you can't do a calls, but here's what I'm thinking of using it as for. For is a media player, music player, gaming machine, and using my phone just solely for um, anything that needs internet, like social media, and of course phone calls, and that solely for that. So hopefully my 5S can last longer because I won't be playing games on this. I won't, I will be shooting more on the iPod Touch 6. So hopefully I'm gonna save more battery on the 5S. Um, yeah. Since we are on the topic, and people will ask me why I'm not getting an iPod Touch 6, iPod Touch 6 Plus. The reason is iPod Touch 6 Plus with 128 gigabyte. Let me just go to the extreme. 128 gigabyte iPhone 6 Plus. It is so expensive. It is close to here. It's about 3,800 ringgit. That is about 4,000 ringgit for a phone. Now you can buy 2 motorbikes with the phone, with that kind of pricing. So that is completely no for me. I think that is so expensive. Comparatively, if you buy the iPod Touch 6 at 128 gigabyte, that's going to be half of that, more than half the price for the iPod Touch 6 Plus. So my dad just started his car, is leaving. So yeah, it's going to be like 1,005 or less, or something around that price range for the iPod Touch 6. So comparatively, 4,000 ringgit for an iPhone 6 Plus 128 versus 1,005, about the same price range for an iPod Touch 6. So no brainer. So that's the two reasons why I mean the two differences, the price differences, that makes me really consider about getting iPod Touch 6, and hence I want to make this video early in this morning. Yeah, because it's exciting news, and I've bought iPod Touch before, and iPod Touch is like the most completed technology. The last iPod Touch was upgrade. iPod Touch 5 was in 2013. So they waited like, because the reason it doesn't go every year, they don't upgrade every year. Because to me, and a lot of people agree, a lot of Apple fanatics agree, because the iPod Touch is a completed thing. Is the technology has reached, the prime. Now it's upgraded to become even better with the E8 chip processor and the space, and it's gonna last a lot more longer. And everybody was pleasantly surprised that Apple still cares about the iPod Touch range, so they came up with this one. Yeah, and then of course the things and point I mentioned earlier, which why it is looking very very attractive to me to buy. So yeah, I know this is a long video, but that's my, I think I just want to share why I would love to get an iPod Touch 6th generation 128 gigabyte storage, because I think it's going to be awesome. So thank you for watching, guys. uh, Subscribe and leave your comment, okay? Thank you.